Happy Sunday, guys. Yeah, happy Sunday. What a great Saturday afternoon we had, didn't we? What a fantastic time to be a Spurs fan. Is my mic working? Doesn't sound like it is at the moment, but I'm sure it is. Spurs were awful, weren't they? Absolutely awful. A terrible, terrible performance. I'm not sure where to start with it, really. Guys, I am low. Um, is that my mic that's low or just my general demeanor? I think is my general demeanor actually. But guys, we were so poor, weren't we? Yesterday, it was such a disappointing result. And where do we go from here? Where do we go? Is this it? Is Frank on his way out? Lots of rumours last night that he was going to go, that he was going to be sacked. As yet, it hasn't happened. Um, do we give him the Dortmund game? I don't know, guys. We will find out, I guess. We will find out over the next couple of days because things have got to happen, right, guys? Before we get into the show, please do me the honor of liking the live show, of subscribing to the channel, hitting that bell notification so you know when all of my content is about to drop. I didn't expect to lose this game yesterday. I thought by hook or by crook we would win. I thought it was just one game that Frank wouldn't lose. Yet, we lost, and we lost convincingly. I thought, isn't it typical? Isn't it typical? Every single game, I feel like I say it every week. I feel like I do a video every week. So much so that I didn't even do a video yesterday. So I thought, what's the point? I could just put a different thumbnail on my video from last week or the week before or the week before and just stick it out. Because every week I say the same. Tottenham start slowly, really poor first half. We pick it up in the second half, but it's never quite enough. And I feel like every week that is what we say as Spurs fans. Just so disappointed. Just so disappointed. And West Ham are one of the worst sides in the Premier League. They're a terrible team. Yet they cut us open at will in that first half. At will. We had nothing anywhere. West Ham had so much space in that first half. It was unbelievable. And yes, Spurs don't have the quality. There's no doubt about that. In those forward areas, we are really short. Odegaard, I thought yesterday was really disappointing. You know, he's a player that I'm championing, that I want to be a really good player. I see, you know, flashes where he's fantastic. And I'm like, there is definitely a player now. But more often than not, probably because he's a young player, he flatters to deceive. He very much looks like a confidence player, and his confidence looks to be shot. But one, he doesn't look like he even wants to be there. One of those signings where I'm guessing he was thinking, it's World Cup year. I need to get minutes. Spurs come in. I've turned them down once, but I can't do it again. I need the minutes. I need to play in the World Cup. He's come, and apart from that one game against his parent club, Paris Saint-Germain, he has done next to nothing. Next to nothing. And like I say, he just doesn't look interested. Tao, for me, is the only one in those front three that looks like he's semi-decent, but he keeps taking off. You know, listen, Tao's not the answer, but he's the one player in that forward three who actually gets the ball and tries to make something happen. Now, again, yesterday he was really disappointing, but he was the best of a bad bunch. Yet, what does Frank do? The first substitutions he takes Tell off. Make head or tail. I can't. I don't understand. I really don't. I thought Frank was going to come in and change our mentality and change the way we play, and just change everything around the club. Everything to do with the club would be different. And I thought, you know, it's not going to happen overnight, but we will see green shoots quite early. We haven't seen any green shoots at all. Romero after the game, Romero during the game, arguing with Frank tactically about what to do. I'm not sure what they're arguing about. And after the game, Romero also looked totally beaten. Frank looked totally beaten. I think things are going to happen today. They've got to, right? either we sack him or we give him the Dortmund game. But listen, let's be honest, we're going to lose the Dortmund game. We have players out, Van der Ven suspended for it. It's going to be a long, old week, I think, for Spurs fans. I am going to say hello to the chat. I do need a drink. I'm stressed out. How are you guys anyway? How are you guys? Wow, not the way I wanted to start the show. I wanted to come on and be like, yes, Spurs have won. Come on. This could be the turning point. And instead, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's say hello to the chat. Mark Swift is in. Morning, Milkman Nige. Good morning to you, mate. I used to be a milkman. So, yeah, like to do a show nice and early. Then went a little bit later today. Nasty Ninja's in. Says, I thought at the post-match interview, Frank looked a tired and beaten man. He's bereft of any ideas of how to get out of this downward spiral and needs to be relieved of his duties ASAP. I agree totally 100%. He looks beaten. He looks done. I don't think he has a clue what to do to get this Spurs team playing. And is that all on him? No, probably not. But, you're the manager. At the end of the day, you are the fall guy. Bit like Levy, he was the front man of the crap behind him and he had to go. And the same with Frank. He is the manager of this team. This team are not performing. He has to go, in my opinion. Rain is in. Big up, Rain. Said yesterday I was chatting to this nice fella. I thought someone else had called Phil. After 5 minutes, I said, have we spoken before? Before? You're really familiar, Phil. He took his hat off and said, no, Rain. He was looking for Phil. I'm Cookie. Flipping laughed so hard. Good to meet such a top bloke. Good morning to you, Rain. And yes, Cookie's amazing. Cookie is one of the good guys. And yeah, glad you got to meet him. Hope he had a good day, even though Spurs lost. And before I go any further in the chat, I want to talk quickly about the protest. Haven't seen overly too much about it, but what I have seen, it looked disappointing. It looked disappointing from what I hear. 200 people turned up, maybe a few more, maybe a few less. So yeah, disappointing. But you know what? And Stel said it last night, is fans have no appetite for it. The fans have no appetite for it. A lot of fans are just happy going to the game and supporting their club and going for a beer afterwards and really don't care about a lot else. And that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. You support your club however you want. It's just disappointing because we really do need to make a stand as a fan base to try and get these owners out. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm so past caring at the moment. It is, for me, the owners are one thing. I just care about what's on the pitch, and what's on the pitch is not good enough. Dingo Yeard says, morning. Did I dream we lost to Wet Spam? You certainly didn't, mate. We did. We did lose to West Ham. And yeah, absolutely shocking. Billy Guy's in saying, Pure Coys, big up. Big up to you, mate. I hope you're well. And then Rain comes in and says, morning, Nige. Good morning, Rain. Hope you're good, mate, and I hope you enjoyed. Well, you probably didn't enjoy the game, but I hope it was good getting out and meeting people and meeting Cookie. Marcus says, morning, Nige, my friend. Good morning to you, Marcus. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you are well. Mark Swift said, you are low. Like I say, I am really low. I hope you're talking about the mic that typically when you go to start a live show, something that always goes wrong, and my mic was playing up for a little bit. Hopefully it's okay now. R. Williams says, morning, I feel absolutely abused by that game. Might seek cancelling. Yeah, it's got to that. You know what? I was watching it and I wasn't even surprised. I wasn't even surprised. Admittedly, I was watching on a bit of a dodgy stream. And yeah, really bad stream, actually. Pixelated and everything. So I couldn't see it clearly. But what I saw was enough. It was pretty bad. Pretty bad. And Mark says all of it. Hopefully it's better now. Wild Spade says, I still believe in Frank, but he's not for Tottenham, maybe. I think this is it, Wild. I think you've hit it absolutely on the head there, Wild Spade. For me, I'm not saying Frank's not a good manager. He might be a fantastic manager, but him and Tottenham they just don't fit. They just don't fit. It's like trying to force a puzzle piece into when you do the outline of the puzzle first. It's like trying to fit one of the middle bits into the outline. It's just not working. For whatever reason, he's not a Tottenham manager. And listen, we're only going one way at the moment, and that's down. So we need to act. I'm surprised we are still here Sunday morning and he hasn't been sacked. But we need to act. We need to act decisively. I don't see a point in giving him the Dortmund game. I mean, a lot of rumours that give him the Dortmund game and then he'll be sacked afterwards. What's the point? What's the point? Just sack him now. It doesn't really matter. We can't play any worse with an interim, whether that be Heitinger or anyone else. We can't play any worse. Jimmy says, "Big up, nice. Genuinely lost for words. People, please don't think we can't get relegated. It's a real possibility, and I'm very worried." Big up, Jimmy. I hope you are, mate. Yeah, we're in a bad way. We're in a bad way. I don't see where we win games from at the moment. We go to Burnley next week, and I'm like, I don't see us winning. Burnley got a point at Anfield. They're not. They're not this walkover that everyone thinks they are. Burnley. You know, yes, they lose a lot of games, but lose a lot of games tightly. 1-0, 2-1, or they draw games. This isn't going to be an easy game, and it's at Burnley as well. And Burnley will smell blood. I think we need to make a choice, and then after that, our February, as we know, is absolutely shocking. So for me, we need to make a choice. Do it now. Do it today. Should have done it last night. Get Frank out. Get someone else in. And do it absolutely ASAP. Dingo, yeah, it says we go to championship if not careful. Again, you know what? I think we're probably going to be all right this season, just because I know we lost to West Ham, but we are 10 points behind ahead of them. So I can't see us losing or going down. But it's going to be tight. If we keep playing like we are, we could be in a bit of a scrap. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where the next win's coming from at the moment. Rodney's in, says, "Good morning, Coys." Good morning to you, Rodney. I hope you're well. And Wild Spade says, "I didn't expect either." It is what it is. It is what it is. Benny Guy says, "Thank you, Frank, for so much for uniting our divided fan base for the first time in a long time." Thank you, Coys. It does feel a bit like that, doesn't it? For the first time, finally, we all kind of agree, or most of us agree, that Frank is not the man. Get him out. Yeah, let's see what happens. Marcus says, "Nige, what did you think of Conor Gallagher?" Oh, it's tough for Gallagher, right? He's one man is not going to change everything, and he's come in and he was poor yesterday, but I don't know. The whole team were poor. He picked it up a bit in the second half, but Gallagher I think will be a really good signing for Spurs. But one man fighting against a whole team is difficult, and he ran about a lot. He put himself about. He tried to make things happen, but he is playing with a team that I don't think are bad, but with a team that are just so low in confidence. And hopefully, the fact that he is a leader, he will pick this team up. But for me, we need to get Frank out because he is the main problem for me. And Benny Guy agrees. Frank out, absolutely. Mark Swift said, "I don't know what anyone can say about this club anymore." It's just disappointing, mate, isn't it? It's just disappointing. Um, how are you feeling, Mark? How are you feeling about Frank now? Because I know that you are, or you were, someone who was, let's try and keep him. Let's not get rid. Are you thinking we get rid now? I definitely think we need to. Wild Space says, "Top clubs are top clubs. No result means you are out." Yep. Wayne says, "Frank out. Clocks stopped ticking. Time's up." I agree. I agree, mate. Time is up. Big up, Wayne. Dingo Yid says, "Get Alonso." I wouldn't be against getting Alonso. At the moment, listen, I don't care who comes in. I'm at that point where I'm just like, just get somebody in because somebody needs to unite these players together and get them playing. And Frank, sadly, and I will say sadly because I really wanted him to work, anyone who knows, and Scott M, who's called me a flip flop, and that's absolutely fine. Live on air. Um, you know, he- I was very much Frank in at the start. I wanted Frank to work so badly, but I think one of the main reasons I wanted Frank to work is because I'm so used to Spurs losing over the last 2, 3, 4 years, and I just wanted a manager to come in and stabilise us, and I thought Frank would do that. He's not. He's made us worse. And as a fan, I think I'm entitled to, as any other fan, as any of you guys are, to change your mind. It's okay to change your mind. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, listen, I take Alonso. I would take anyone at the moment. Marcus says, smash the like and subscribe button to this amazing channel. Thank you, Marcus. Much appreciated, mate. And if you haven't smashed that like, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get over 70 today. Last couple of streams have been really good, over 70 likes. Let's see if we can keep that up today. And if you haven't subscribed, absolutely subscribe to the channel. Chasing down 1,350. If I could get that after this show, that would be fantastic. Spurs own goal, saying still shocked about the result and the performance. You know what, mate? Big up. I'm not even shocked about the performance because, like I say, this is what we get every week, isn't it? Every single week we get a really crap first half, and then they're like, okay, we'll put a bit of effort in the second half. It's never enough. It's never enough. And I think one of the main reasons I want Frank gone so much is because tactically, I thought he was a man who was going to, I don't know, make us play some football. Maybe I'm absolutely deluded. But all I'm seeing from this Tottenham side is long throws, which I'm not against, but long throws, corners, free kicks, and spamming the crosses in. Get the ball out of Porro, spam as many crosses as you can in. I think Porro crossed the ball well over 25 times yesterday. We haven't got the quality in the middle to put the ball in the net. That's fine if you've got Harry Kane in there. We haven't. Where are the triangles? Where's the one-touch passing? Where's the running off people? Where's the defence splitting passes? None of them. None of it. We play one way, long ball, set pieces, or crossing. And for me, and I know I'm an older fan and a lot of younger fans saying, what is the Tottenham way? That is not the Tottenham way. The Tottenham way is front-footed, aggressive, and beautiful football, nice passing. That's what I want to see. And I'm not seeing it. I can take defeats if I'm seeing good football. If I'm seeing crap, then for me, that's that. And I'm done. I'm done with Frank. And I want somebody else to come in and unite this fan base and hopefully get this team playing. Binny Guy saying, if anybody's still backing Frank the fraud, you are an Arsenal fan. Listen, I wanted Frank to work, but it's just not. It's just not. He has to go. Spurs own goal said need a change. 100%, mate. We 100% need a change. Wayne Bonner said, we're 10 points off the bottom three. I fancy West Ham and Forest to hit better form and results than us. Let's see, maybe. I mean, I think Forest will be okay. I still think West Ham are just too far off it at the moment, but who knows? Listen, if we don't beat Burnley and West Ham get another win, suddenly it's 7 points. And with that run of fixtures that we have, you never know. You never know. Marcus said he's actually worse. He actually is. You're right. Well, Space and I believe Frank is a good coach, but football world is faster than Frank project. I agree. It's all of sadly it is. It is about win now. I think fans can take and clubs can take, building and projects if you're looking like you're going somewhere. But at the moment, Spurs don't look like they are, and we look worse. Footballing wise, we're not playing good football at all. So for me, yeah, it is what it is. He is a good coach, but not at Tottenham. Not at Tottenham. Not for me. Wayne Bonner says the only thing. Oh, sorry about this. I've just had a pop up come up. The only thing the board and owners should give Frank is his marching papers. I agree. Absolutely 100%. Spurs rule says forget about managers like Alonso. We will be looking at lower league championship managers. This is all by design to lower expectations. Enix money is going all to the hotel project. Oh, mate, I hope not. I really do. I hope not. We need something. Enoch are going to have to pull something out of the bag here because it's only going to get worse otherwise. We're Tottenham Hotspur. I hate to say it, and I know I may be being that fan who's maybe overhyping Spurs. We are Tottenham Hotspur. We are massive. We are a massive club. No matter what anyone says, currently, we're not acting like it, and we're not a massive club in the fact that we're finishing low in the table. But we are a huge club. You ask anyone around the world, if you heard of Tottenham Hotspur, absolutely, they're a massive club. But we don't act like it. It's time to start acting like it. And we need to be ruthless. We need to be ruthless. We say it about transfers. We say it about players, bringing players in and getting rid of players. We need to be the same with managers. The managers aren't performing, get them out. And Frank isn't performing. Spurs rule says Frank lost me in the Super Cup game. No manager loses that unless they're crap. Yeah, I mean, I was sucked into that Super Cup. I actually thought it was really good, and I was really positive about Frank afterwards. But you look back, and you look back at the substitutions he's made in that game and since. Take yesterday, for example. We pulled it back to 1-1. We were totally and utterly on top. And then the changes he makes takes all the momentum out of the game. And we end up losing our way and losing the game. So for me, yeah, I'm just lost with it all, mate. I'm just lost with it all, guys. Wayne Bonner says Frank and Enoch have already lost the fans. That's the bell tolling. You know what? Frank has totally lost the fans. The halftime boos. And listen, at Spurs, you're always going to get booed. It's a bit like Real Madrid. Yeah. You're always going to get booed. If you're losing a game at halftime, for the most part, there will be a few boos going around. But the boos yesterday were wow. At halftime, even just watching it on the TV, the boos were really loud. And after the game, really loud again. And when your own fan base is singing you're getting sacked in the morning, I think you then know. I think then that's probably the end of you. But listen, we will see. We will see what happens. Wild Spade says Frank is a safe coach like Slot. You need to fire up the players like Man United did. I agree. I agree. He is safe. I mean, for a lot of it yesterday, it felt like we were playing not to lose. Playing not to lose. But it is what it is. Like I say, I'm so broken by this club at the moment. I'm gonna try and get my attitude up and try and be more upbeat because it is what it is. Dingo says, how much does it cost to have a tattoo removed? Got a dead chicken to remove. Yeah, God. I don't know. I don't know. We all love the club, don't we? Regardless. Listen, we're all Spurs. And we love this club no matter win, lose, or draw. But sometimes it is so hard. Spurs Roll says Frank never had the right mentality from the beginning. He talked about us losing games and how we would deal with that. It's all a Brentford mentality. Enoch need to sell up 100%. Totally and utterly agree. As much as I was a massive Ange outer at the end, and certainly for most of last season, actually. The one thing I will say about Ange is he always talked Tottenham up. He always put Tottenham in the best light and he would die on a hill for the club. He would always if anyone would say anything negative about Spurs, he would always snap back. Frank is a bit more like, yeah, well, yesterday, what did he say? Did he say it was like we're a slow tanker turning? Are you kidding me? Come on now. Yeah, that kind of thing. Just not good. The Wiz says Shearer summed it up perfectly last night on Match of the Day when he said, I cannot see what the plan is. There isn't one, and that's why the players look so lost and downhearted. Get him gone. 100%, mate. He has to go. He absolutely has to go. The team look clueless on the pitch. Conor Gallagher come in yesterday, a player that I think most of us rate. Yeah, he's a good player. He is a good player. Chelsea captain. He drove Chelsea forward. He was a heartbeat of Chelsea. Went to Atletico Madrid, and whereas he didn't play too much this season, I mean, still 27 appearances, by the way. But he's a player that would drive your team forward. will really get you going. Will, even in bad times, will keep you going. Yesterday, he come in and within 10 minutes, he looked like the rest of the team. He looked clueless on the pitch. He didn't look like he knew where he wanted to be, where he needed to be, what he had to do. And that all comes from the manager, in my opinion. Big up to Mark Swift. Thank you very much, buddy. He says, keep up the good work, mate. Thank you. I really do appreciate you. Yeah, it's always nice when you do a live stream. You get a little super chat. So thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. And yeah, much love to you. Vindaloo is in. Zen morning, Nige. All this moaning, but a few hundred fans turn up to the protest. Looks like the fans have accepted who you are. West Ham, 10 points away. Yeah, it does. It's so disappointing. It's so disappointing. But you know what? Spurs are so clever because they knew that putting out that statement before and that Conor Gallagher signing would probably dampen everything. A lot of fans, like I say, and listen, you support your club however you want. I live miles away from Tottenham. I don't get to see them very often. But you support your club how you want. But I'm telling you now, if I was a season ticket holder, I would have 100% been at that protest. But it is what it is. Listen, fans are going to fan. They fan how they want. And, you know, a lot of fans are happy just going to the stadium, meeting up with friends, having a few beers, cheering on their team, having a few more beers, and then going home or taking their kids to see it. And that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. We're not all the same. And I think the fans have accepted what we are currently, which is sad. But hopefully one day, Spurs will be back. Spurs Rule says, I hope we go down. It's the only way our fans will wake up. Even then, they will accept a loss and spend money in the stadium. What a joke. And this is it. Yeah, this is it. I don't think, sadly, football's changed, isn't it? Certainly from when I was younger, you know, it mattered. Wins and losses mattered. Now it just doesn't seem to. And I think, again, it was said perfectly yesterday. I think the online culture, the YouTube culture is very much like a bit firmer. The match day going fan, they just want to go and have a good day. And it is what it is. Liam says, hey, mate, West Ham fan here. Big up, Liam. I hope you're well, mate. That was a most fight we've shown all season. Shame as if we performed like that most weeks we wouldn't be in this position. But I must say, you boys look bad at both ends. We did. You know, it's a concern, mate. And welcome to the channel. You know, it's a concern. We have nothing going forward. You know, this is the thing. You think back a couple of years ago, we had Kane and Son. Now we have Tell, Odebell, and Mawani. What a massive, massive drop off. And yeah, West Ham played well and he opened us up at the back time and time again. Like I say, West Ham could have been out of sight at half time. They really could. That's how slow Tottenham started. I am so fed up with Tottenham starting slow to games and not being on it. I am so fed up with it. And that for me is down to the manager. Earlier on in the season, I put it down to the players. I was very much like, well, the players can't. Nah, not anymore. It can't be the players every week. At some point, you have to look at the tactics and you have to look at the manager. And I am 100% focused on the manager. He 100% has to go. Guys, 63 of you in the house, please smash that like button. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. I'm going to try my best to get up to 1,350 subs today. I'm 15 short, so any help would be much appreciated. Spurs Rule says Gallagher's here for a payday. He's Chelsea. I disagree, mate. I disagree with that. I think Gallagher is going to be a good signing for us. But you know, let's see. No doubt, if he keeps playing like this, the Chelsea fans will be out, and it will be Agent Gallagher. But I'm sure he's going to be a good player for Spurs. I really am. Dingo, yeah, says Gallagher has put a transfer request. Yeah, one game. I mean, I've in my thumbnail has got a picture of the goal going in, and you just see Gallagher's face, and it's almost like, shit, what have I walked into here? But listen, it is what it is. It really is. Wayne says, I'm impressed. Gallagher isn't injured and out for 3 months yet. He did go down a couple of times, didn't he? Like in the first minute, he went down with a head injury, and it's like, oh, here we go, here we go. I bet he wish he went off, to be fair. Mark Swift saying, yes, mate, he is not working out. He has to go now. I agree. I agree. Niall O'Connor says, I have no doubts in this team. Hard to judge them under Ange and hard to judge them under Frank. These boys can play the Tottenham way, but with the right coach. I'm kind of in agreement with you there, Niall. I think, these players are not as bad as what they're showing, which is a concern to start with. But I do think under the right coach, under the right leadership and guidance, I think Tottenham, the players will be fine. Listen, we're not a top four side. We're probably not a top six side, but we're a top half side at least. And we are not showing anywhere near that at the moment. It's going to be an interesting couple of months towards the end of the season. That's for certain. Wild Spade has said, we all wanted Frank to work. I'm not even a Spurs fan. Who do you support, Wild Spade? Who do you support? Let us know. Binny Guy saying Gallagher looked like a geezer who hadn't played football for years. Out of form so bad. Biss looks so much sharper. It shows how poor the recruitment is. Bloody hell. Yeah, like I said, I do think Gallagher will be a good signing for Spurs. I was disappointed with him yesterday. I'm not going to lie. But Basuma come in and listen. He's been alienated from the squad after what he's done off the pitch. And whereas I agree with it, you cannot do that off the pitch. You've got to be a model professional in this day and age. He's been brought back in and he had a really good second half, I thought. So it'll be interesting to see whether Basuma starts. Is he in the Champions League squad, guys? Let me know. I'm not sure he is. I don't think he is. But it'll be interesting to see whether Basuma gets to start next week against Burnley. Hopefully, Paulinho will be back. For me, yesterday, I thought we really missed Paulinho in the middle of the park. I think we were so open, it was unreal. Anna Cole, big up Anna, saying hello from the Welsh Valleys. Come on, you Spurs. I am so mad about yesterday's loss to West Ham. So gutted. Big up, Anna. Thanks for coming over to the channel. Hit a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm absolutely gutted too. Absolutely gutted. And I'm not too far away. I'm the other side of Bristol. So love Wales. Lovely part. I was going to say lovely part of the country. It's another country. But yeah, welcome to the channel. And I agree. Absolutely gutted as well. Jimmy says, how can this manager possibly get the players motivated for Tuesday? It's just not possible. He has to go today and give Heitinger and the Dortmund game. He can't do any worse. I agree. You know what? The players are not playing for Frank, regardless of what we say, or what we think. He's clearly not playing. They are clearly not playing for Frank. He has to go. Put us out of our misery now. It's a sad day for me because I really like Frank. But he is just not Tottenham. He is just not Tottenham. He has to go. He has to go today. I expect an announcement sometime this afternoon. If it doesn't happen, I'll be really disappointed. It's just almost like giving up. It's almost like saying, come on then, Dortmund. Come on, put our pants down. Give us a slap. Just do what we can to try and get something out of that Dortmund game. It's already going to be hard enough. The injuries we have, Van der Ven suspended. It's going to be a really tough game, but let's just hope. Let's just hope. Guys, over 70 of you in the house now. Please keep smashing that like button. It is so important. The more likes I get, the more it pushes me out to a wider audience. I know it's crazy. YouTube, what can you do? And hit that subscribe if you haven't as well. Sammy says, big up Sammy says, good to see a few YouTubers at the protest. Nowhere near enough people attended though, thanks to CFT and everyone that did attend. Yes, big up to everyone that attended to the protest. It was disappointing to see, saw a couple of the videos and it was disappointing, but you know what? Hopefully over time, more and more will turn up. And if the next one, I will 100% be at, as long as I haven't got my youngest. Listen, you guys had a protest. I had my youngest here with a friend over for a sleepover. That was horrific. It was horrific, but it is what it is. Binny Guy saying Vindaloo, choo choo blood. Wild Spade said Haram. Spurs rule, we haven't played beautiful football for decades. I disagree, Spurs. I disagree. I thought we played beautiful football under Poch. I thought we played beautiful football under Redknapp, under Joel. Obviously I look back and I think of the 80s, the side with Hoddle and just beautiful player, but even then we had beautiful footballers like Hoddle, but we had men like Graham Roberts, Paul Miller. We had proper players as well, and hard players. So, beautiful football doesn't have to just mean lovely passing. It can mean crunching tackles as well. Though tackles have gone out, you can't do anything. Can't do anything. David Tile says Martin Jol to the summer. I wouldn't be against that at all. I would love Jol back. I think he'd be absolutely brilliant. What a great manager for Spurs. And again, another one who was treated so badly by Enid. Dingo Years said fans boo and chant negativity, but won't attend the protests. Sad display of togetherness. And I think that just shows how fractured this fan base is, doesn't it? The fact that, fans are quite happy to boo in the stadium and give their feelings there, but they will not go. They will not go to a protest and, just stand with them. Just stand with them for half an hour. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Wayne Bonner says, Dingo Yid, I'd say that sums up the club as a whole at the moment. Absolutely. Stig says, morning nine, Frank has to go. Tactics are crap. 1 minute we press, next minute we step off. In possession is diabolical. Lucky if we can pass forwards more than 4 times. Playing for relegation. This is it for me. The football is so bad. So bad at the moment. You can take defeats. Listen, we've all been Spurs fans long enough to know that we lose games. And, as Frank says, we will lose. But we know that already as Spurs fans. We don't need to be told it. But the football and the style and just everything about the way we play at the moment is so predictably crap. And we need to change ASAP. We need to change ASAP. David Tulsa feels more toxic than when GG, that man in the raincoat, managed us. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty toxic then, wasn't it? But it's just not good. It's just not good. Into Spurs, big up TJ. I hope you're well, mate. Says, morning, my friend. I'm sorry we have to sack him. West Ham was my breaking point. Absolutely. It was only a couple of nights ago and you were very much like, let's give him time. But listen, we've all got a breaking point, every single one of us. And, you've reached yours and that's great. And yeah, fair play. And guys, if you haven't already, get over to Into Spurs and subscribe to his channel. Great little channel. And he put out a great video yesterday doing a few interviews with some of the protesters and some of the YouTubers out there. So get over, watch it and subscribe to his channel. David is saying okay, we'll read that in a minute. Wild Spade, that's damning. Gallagher not having a good game. And Benny said, Lewis family out. They have to go, right? They have to go. But, listen, this isn't going to be an overnight thing. They've already turned down, 3 offers? So I can't see them. I can't see them setting up anytime soon. We're just going to have to suck it up. Hopefully, a few more protests, ramp it up a little bit. And a new manager. You know what? When we're winning games, it's not so bad, is it? But we can't keep continuing like this. Bod the Cap is in. Big up, mate. Said, doesn't matter what the plan is. We don't have the players capable of improving that much. We need at least 5 or 6 Conor Gallagher type signings if we want to improve. Good morning, by the way. Good morning to you, Bod, and 100% agree. One signing, it doesn't change anything. We need an overhaul of this squad and we need a manager to come in who's going to unite these players because they don't look united at all. Let's hope that happens soon. Wild Space said, I think you're right, sadly. Bod said, definitely time for change, manager and players. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. There is a lot to do at the moment with Spurs, and let's hope we can do something. David says, as much as it is a gamble for their development, maybe we need an academy player getting a run of games like Luca Williams-Barnett. What are your thoughts? We know it would give the fans something. I think It's one of them, isn't it? It's a catch-22. I'd love to see that, and it would unite the fans 100%. We'd have someone to cheer for. Um, the problem is, at the same time, it could make or break him, right? It could make Luca Williams-Barnett. It could make him even to an even better young player than he is, or it could totally break him. And so it's a difficult one. But I'd love to see him get some minutes. 100% love to see him get some minutes. Interspurs says, I've been to so many protests. Yesterday really annoyed me. We all need to stand up and speak about how poorly ENIC has run us. 25 years, only 2 trophies, simply not good enough. Where is our ambition? Agreed. Agreed. Rodney saying, so how do we bring in? So who do we bring in? So who do we bring in? Rodney, I'll be honest with you guys. Let me know in the chat. Who do we bring in? For me, I don't care. I don't care at the moment. I think we bring in a proper manager in the summer. I think. Listen, I don't particularly want Glasner because I want Spurs to find their identity and get a manager in who plays front-footed attacking football, and Glasner doesn't do that for me. But Glasner is available, and if that's the road we're going down, where we're going to play that kind of football, fine. I think the club have to just come out and give us and tell us what our identity is going to be, and let the fans know. But we will see. Jimmy says Basuma is not in the Champions League squad, so he won't be playing. No, Wild Space says because he is still a good manager, but it isn't working. Listen, Frank will go to another club, and I'm taking it we're talking about Frank still. He'll go to another club and he'll do a great job. It's just like I said earlier, him and Frank and Tottenham just don't fit. Don't fit. 2 different pieces of a puzzle, and not for me. R. Williams says, can I ask who is the right manager for the job? This is the thing. This is the thing. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't think any fans know either. For me, like I've just said, identity. Work our identity out. If it is front footed attacking football the Tottenham way, get that type of manager in and never ever deviate from that. So every man, listen, we might bring a manager in next who is front footed attacking and it doesn't work. That doesn't mean we go back to pragmatic counter-attacking football. It means for me, the next manager we bring in is again front-footed attacking manager. And we have to keep our identity. We cannot keep chopping and changing. But that's my opinion, guys. Drop a comment in. Let me know what you think. Who was the right manager for the job? What kind of style do you want to see? Do you care? I don't know. So many questions at the moment with Spurs. So Reeve, I think Riva, not Frank. Big up to you, mate. Thank you for coming over to the channel. Mike Pepper saying the Titanic is sinking and ENIC are on the deck with a bucket and spade, clueless morons and suits. Yes, and you can guarantee, mate, they have got one of the lifeboats already. They'll be fine at the end of it. They'll just leave a mess of a club. Bod the Cap said we played good football under Poch. But we had better players. Poch would not get anywhere near a tune out of this squad. It will take him time, mate. There's 100%. I'd love Poch back just for that romantic thing of just him being stood on the sideline in that Tottenham suit, wearing our blazer with the badge on his heart. For me, I would love Poch back. But you're absolutely right. Poch had a team back then, and not one single player in this current team get into the Tottenham team back in Poch's squad. So it's going to be difficult. If Poch come back in, we would have to give him time. But I'm sure Poch would show us green shoots and say and tell us what we all want to hear. So hopefully that we would give him more time, and hopefully ENIC or whoever's in charge would give him time. But listen, at the moment, it is a poison chalice. We've all been saying it for years, haven't we? This club is a poison chalice. No matter who comes in, they're gonna have a really difficult time of it. Barbaric's in. Good morning, Nige. Good morning to you, Barbaric. I'll start another protest if these likes are not smashed. Hit the sub too if you haven't already. Absolutely, mate. And I will be at that protest 100%. Richard's in. Big up, Rich. He says, I'm lost for words. Woeful from top to bottom. I miss the old stadium and what we used to be more than ever. You know what? It's really quite sad. I agree 100%. I miss White Hart Lane. I miss that 36,000 seater stadium. I miss the atmosphere. I miss when Spurs scored a goal, or when we got a corner, or just when we had some action. The crackle in the stadium. It just felt less corporate. It felt like there were proper Tottenham fans in there. For me now, the 3 or 4 times I've been to the stadium, it just feels so corporate. So well, it is an event stadium, isn't it? And that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like home. It feels it feels like somebody has it almost feels like we live on a when you live on a well, I was brought up on a council estate. It's almost like you live on a council estate and everyone's got an old Ford Cortina, but number 36 has a Porsche on the drive. That's how Tottenham feel to me. Yeah, we got a great car, but it's still a shit house, you know? It's just it is what it is. It is what it is. Binny Guy says, "Give Andrew call." Absolutely not. Not a chance. Not a chance, mate. You know what? I love the way Ange spoke, but no, not as a manager. Jimmy says this is definitely not the time to put youngsters in. It could ruin their careers. Absolutely, it could. Yeah, it could go one way or the other. Stig saying we've got the players to play 5-3-2. We'd be much better with wing backs 4-3-3s. It was absolutely 100%. And this is one of the frustrating things about Frank is that earlier on in the season he wasn't playing three at the back, and I got it. Yeah, because we didn't have centre backs. Now, and this is a manager that's supposed to adapt. That's supposed, he's played three at the back before. Now we have the players. We have centre backs fit. We have a girth of centre backs. We could play three at the back. We don't have a lot of attacking options, so it would save us putting all our attacking players on. We could just play the two best of the bad bunch, but we still don't do it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Before I go any further, I just want to quickly say best wishes to Daddy Davies. He looks like he got a serious injury. It looks like he might have broken his leg, which is terrible, terrible news. And you know what? Best wishes to him. He's been a great servant to the club, no matter what we think of him. And he's one player that always gives his all. And I respect him wholeheartedly for that, because so many other Spurs players currently don't look like they give a shit. Daddy Davies always puts in a shift for Spurs. So get well soon, Ben. I hope you listen. I hope it's not as bad as what we all fear. But proper Tottenham player. RF saying Glasner would just be more of the same style. I doubt it works. I agree. Glasner, not for me. Not for me. David Toll says interim options: Hoddle, Redknapp, Yol, Klinsmann, Defoe. Then bring in our adopted Potch back. Listen, Hoddle for me, no. Redknapp I'd take, though he's getting on a bit. Yo, I'd 100% take. Klinsmann isn't a bad shout, actually. Defoe, not sure. Klinsmann, though, is not a bad shout. I hadn't thought about that. Guys, let me know what you think about maybe Klinsmann coming in and doing a bit of a stint. He likes to come for Spurs for a season or for 6 months here and there, doesn't he? So why can't he come for 6 months now and try and just listen? Like I said, I don't think we're in any real danger of going down, but just try and give something. Try and give the fans something. We need something, don't we? Bard says, I believe too much emphasis is put on the manager. The mess we're in is 100% down to our recruitment and the players being nowhere near good enough. 100%. Our recruitment has been shocking over the last, I want to say, 8 or 9 years. Our recruitment has been absolutely shocking. But, I do think the players are good enough to be better than what they're showing. But listen, it is what it is. Rich saying Frank and that row of iPads need to be consigned to the bin ASAP. Nice bloke, but doesn't have the balls to be a Spurs manager. He's a stats man who manages like his championship manager, works for Brentford. And exactly this, mate. And Brentford had it all in place for him, didn't they? They had it all in place. And look how they're doing now. Yeah, they've changed the manager. They're better. Or they're no different, you know. They change players like Brighton. They change players. Good players come in. They bring in unknowns. They work because the structure is absolutely set up not to fail. Yet Spurs, we are all over the place. Absolutely all over the place. I agree. Nice bloke, and he will do well somewhere else. But he's just not Spurs. Listen, what are Spurs? I don't know. Maybe we need an absolute basket case to manage this club. Maybe that's what would work. Get absolute Fruit Loop in, who's, you know, just a complete loon. Bring him in. Maybe that'll work because sensible doesn't seem to be working at the moment. Winners don't seem to be working at the moment. Um, it is what it is. Peter, big up Peter, says Poch is not a serial winner. No, he's not. Um, nor Spurs, let's be honest. Nor Spurs. I think it is. I think it's one of them. I really do. Like I say, I'd love Poch back, but I do think whoever we get in, it's just we're a shit show, guys. We really are a shit show, and I don't know. I don't know how much more of it I can take. Guys, there are 99 of you in the house, nearly 100 people in the house. Please smash that like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't. I have 12 more subs to get to 1,350. If I could get there today, that would be absolutely amazing. Simon says, morning, Nige. Good morning to you, Simon. A couple of top strikers needed in the next 2 weeks. We need so much surgery, mate, don't we? But yeah, where do we think we need the most work? Certainly in the forward areas, we are so weak. Midfield, I still think we're weak. Defensively, goalkeeper. Oh my fucking god! Can we talk about the goalkeeper quickly? Is he like the worst keeper we've ever seen in the history of Tottenham Hotspur? This guy is the biggest flapper I've ever seen. He is terrible. He flaps at absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. For me, come out and claim that cross yesterday. Right at the end, come out. Be strong. Be strong. He's an absolute pussy. He goes down so easy. He was complaining to the referee that his arm was being pulled. Come on, man. And for that, we're in a situation, as we all know. Kinski, great in the air, commands his box, good with his feet. Not as good a shot stopper as Vicario. Vicario, good shot stopper. I'm not going to say great. I think he's a good shot stopper. Absolute loon at everything else. Terrible. So for me, a keeper is massive. If not in January, probably difficult in January. In the summer, we need a top class keeper who, you know, is not amazing at everything, but is good. I don't want a keeper that's amazing at shot stopping, can't play with his feet, or amazing with his feet, can't stop a ball. I want someone who's just slap bang in the middle, bang, good goalkeeper, solid. It's exactly what we need, and we haven't got that, and we really haven't. But let's see what happens. Rich says half these players need shipping to Mars ASAP too. This is rotten from top to bottom. Owen Vinay, the Guna needs to piss off and Enoch need to sell. Apart from that, all good. Big up, Rich. Yes. Listen, it's hard not to disagree. I think Mars is a bit harsh. You know, send them to Milton Keynes. That's absolutely fine. I'm sorry if anyone comes from Milton Keynes. There's just a lot of roundabouts. But it is what it is. Scott, big up Scott, says, I think expectations were over the top this season. We lost 22 games last season. It was always going to take time. I agree. And I'll be the first to admit I was one of those fans who was like, you know, I'm okay. We're going to start slowly. We're not great. But listen, I'm not sure. Like I said, I wouldn't mind losing if the football's okay, but the football is so bad. So bad. Kate and Jimbo, big up Kate and Jimbo. I hope you're well. Says, good morning, Nige. I cannot believe he hasn't been sacked yet. Outrageous. Get Keane in his interim and maybe he can play too. Well, big up Kate and Jim. Guys, if you haven't, get over to their channel and subscribe to their channel too. Yeah, I can't believe he hasn't been sacked either. I really can't. He should have gone as soon as the game finished last night. I don't know what they need to have meetings about. You know, we're crap. Get him out of the club. But Keane, listen, I love Robbie Keane in. He's doing such a good job where he is, though. I can't see him coming in as an interim. But I think we need somebody Tottenham just to come in and unite the fan base. even if it's for 6 months, and then look again at who we're going to get. But hopefully in those 6 months, so if we got rid of Frank now, before the next season, we've got plenty of time then to do our due diligence and get a manager in that is going to make this club great and take this club forward. But big up Kate, big up Jimbo. Diana, I can't read this at the moment. Daniela Stewart says, look at this fixture. Neither side goes 4 or 5 games without losing. It was Spurs' turn. That's football. Yes, not good to fans, but to play like West Ham, I think the players are half the problem. I think the players are half the problem. Absolutely, 100% agree. It was just so disappointing yesterday because, West Ham hadn't won in 6. I think they had 1 win in 11, was it? Spurs had only won 1 in 6. We've now only won 1 in 7. And listen, I don't know where we go as Spurs fans. I really don't. The Two Mark Show. Good morning, Nige. Good morning. Is that Cookie? Is that Sheriff? I think it's Cookie. Cookie, did you have a good day yesterday? Let me know, mate. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a text. Let me know how it went. Jimmy says Klinsmann is not a very good coach, so that's a no. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of someone who could come in a United fan. Maybe get the players up for a couple of months. Not something long term, but yeah, no. I know that Klinsmann hadn't done great at other clubs. Barbaric said it won't happen, but our only hope is Ragnick as a director of football and Nagelsmann as a manager. Oh, I take Nagelsmann in a heartbeat. I absolutely would take Nagelsmann in a heartbeat. Yeah, it's disappointing, guys. It really is. I'm going through the chat to see if I've missed anyone that I haven't said hello to yet. Siphoning, big up to you, mate, saying, come on, you Spurs. Sav sent Choo Choo season 3. And Barbaric saying, keep smashing the likes, people. Get over to Kate and Jimbo and do the same. And do the same to every single Spurs YouTube channel. It is so important. We are all doing our thing, putting work out there. And sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's tough, especially when Tottenham are as crap as they are. Actually, sometimes it's easier when Spurs are crap because you can just offload. And yeah, as many people say, when Spurs are bad, you do tend to get more people in your chat. And that's absolutely fine. You know what? For me, I love coming on when Spurs lose. And I'll tell you one of the main reasons is not because I'm not a Spurs fan. It's because I need therapy. I need to talk. I need to talk to people. So it's so nice talking to like-minded people who feel the same as me or similar to me. Or if they don't feel the same as me, that they can tell me why they don't feel the same. And suddenly that makes me think, yeah, you've got a good point. Okay. All right, I'm not as mad as I was. So listen, I love this YouTube community. I love all you guys who come into the chat and talk Spurs, whether you're Tottenham or whether you're Arsenal like Vindaloo or whoever you support. It's always good just talking football with people. The big Marvinsky says, when you can't beat a piss poor West Ham team, questions need asking. You know what? I think this is the problem. We've been a poor side for a while, and it's just not getting any better. Alex Minchin said, new sub here, Nige. The risks is that if they stick with Frank, it's a risk of losing or better players. I agree, and big up, Alex. Thank you so much, mate. I really do appreciate you. Yeah, it's a lot of our players look fed up under Frank, don't they? Van der Ven looks like he wants out. Romero looks like he wants out. So many of them. But I'm in that situation, guys. I don't know about you. And I'm at a point I don't care. I don't care if players want to leave now. Let them go. I kind of want to rip someone else said it on another stream. Kind of just want to rip it all up. I want to sell every single player, get rid of everyone, and just start again. It's kind of the way I'm feeling at the moment. But big up, Alex, and thanks for the sub. Kate says, hi, Nige. Love Court. You said I was worried about West Ham, and look what happened. Yeah, you did. You did say you was worried, and I was like, nah, we'll beat West Ham. I know we're bad, but we're not that bad. And You're absolutely bang on. Yeah, terrible performance, but big up, Kate. Formula says we've got Burnley, City, United, Newcastle, and Arsenal by the end of Feb. We could be in a relegation battle. Absolutely, we could. We could. Burnley now is massive. It's a 6-pointer. Why are we talking about 6-pointers? We're Tottenham Hotspur, but it's a 6-pointer. We have to get 3 points against Burnley just to give us that cushion, because the next run of games, I don't see us getting any points at all. I don't see us getting any points at all. I've got to stop saying things twice. Simon Cohen says, get Mike Bassett in pronto. I will take him in a heartbeat. 100%. Is there anyone that we could bring in? Like any of our players that we could bring in that's going to make us, I don't know, ex-players? I'm just not sure. Benny says, Pure Coys, you're awesome. Thank you as always. Thank you very much, Benny Guy. Much love to you, mate. Appreciate that. Kate Rickson says, can't see us winning Burnley now. 1-1 with Liverpool. Kate, don't say you fancy Burnley as well. Or, you know. But you're right. Burnley did get a point at Liverpool, and they're not as bad as everyone's saying. You know, they're not. Whereas they're losing games, they're not getting stuffed. They're not getting stuffed. Kate says, what about Alonso? I will take him in a heartbeat. I think he's top manager. I will take him in a heartbeat. But yeah, I don't know. Guys, keep smashing that like button, hitting that subscribe button. I'm 10 subs short of 1,350. That is a target I never thought I'd get to. So if I get to there today, that would be absolutely amazing. Vindaloo, Frank for Prime Minister. Listen, in all fairness, he'd probably do a better job at Prime Minister than our current one. And into Spurs, it says, I'm still fuming, man. Yeah, I'm still angry as well. I'm just fed up. TJ, I'll give you a text in a bit, mate. I think we're going to go live later and talk more like in depth. So maybe we can sort something out for then. Bod the Cap says, wonder if Alonso would like an easy few million quid for 6 months work. Tell him to bring his boots as well. Joking aside, I'd go for Roy Keane. He was brilliant. There's an interesting one. You know what, Bod? I'd never thought of that. What about Roy Keane? He'd stick a rocket up these asses, these players, wouldn't he? Listen, I'm not saying it would work for long. Roy Keane is not the manager you come in to take this club forward, but he's a manager that maybe would do something for 6 months. I love Roy Keane, by the way. I absolutely love him on TV. Whether I'd like to work for him or not is another question. But Roy Keane isn't a bad shape. I quite like that. I do quite like it. The 2 Mark Show says 22,000 people in the South Stand screaming Frank out at the end. I think that tells the story. Had a great day, mate, apart from the football. Well, I'm glad you had a good day. And isn't it disappointing? 22,000 people in the South Stand screaming for Frank out at the end, but not, well, probably very few of them were actually at the protest to try and get the main cause of this problem out, and that is ENIC. But F. Sank said if only Frank had dealt with the ball from the corner like any other keeper would, right? Yeah, we're talking about Vicario, right? Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? It all stems back from a minute earlier when we had a long throw. Well, we had a throw, and we bring Bergvall on to take the long throw. It looked like to me, it's like Bergvall and Danzo were both ready to come on. It's like, who can throw it the furthest? Well, Danzo can. So, but we bought, and it's like, it's literally, we bought Bergvall on to take a long throw. It's like we got, it's like it's American football. What are we doing here? Why does everything have to be a long throw when we get in and around that box? Everything. Have some infantry, play a short one, knock it back, cross it in, do something. But no, everything has to be a long throw, and it drives me nuts. Whereas I liked it earlier on in the season, right now I am. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. 43 Anne says we will get relegated with this clown in charge. He has lost the players and the fans. Next week we'll lose to Burnley, and that game we'll play. We're screwed. I agree, mate. I agree. The Sussex Hotspur says, can anyone come on? We need to vent It's out, mate. We are going to do. I think we're going to do a phone-in show later where people can ring in and just vent out. I'm literally going for another couple of minutes because I have got my youngest in the other room and I have no idea what she's up to. So I will have to go and check on her in a minute. But we will be doing a show later where everyone can vent and we will get TJ on and other people. And hopefully, guys, you will tune in and we can all have a really good moan. And hopefully by then we might have some news as well. Aside from this, I did say if Polina wasn't playing, we would lose, and I was right. Yeah, Polina, we really miss Polina, don't we? When he isn't playing, it is what it is. You know, it really is. And there's a certain Chunky Watson has big up, son. Says big up everyone. Dortmund on Wednesday. It's Dortmund on Tuesday, mate. We would have lost by Wednesday, but yeah, it's going to be. We're in for a really tough week ahead if we don't sack Frank. Daniela says, I get the manager out call, but clubs have been sacking the manager left, right, and centre. Maybe if you look at our players and accept they are not as good as we think they are, they're definitely not as good as we think they are, 100%. But you know what it is, Daniela, is that I am so fed up with us starting slow. Every game we start so slowly. It is such a hard watch, and we never wake up until the second half. And for me, that's part of Spurs playing better. It's also part of the teams dropping off a little bit. You know, Villa 2-0 up. They didn't need to go hammer and tong at us. They just dropped off. Let Spurs come onto them because they knew that Spurs weren't going to offer much. And the same yesterday. West Ham, I mean, to be fair, West Ham put all that effort into the first half, and I think they'd run out of steam a little bit second half. But Spurs had nothing. They had nothing. And I agree, the players are not good enough, but I do expect more from the manager. I really do. For me, it's all about identity, as I said. I want a manager who's front-footed, attacking. Not Ange, by the way. That was just silly. But front-footed and attacking plays a certain way. You know, the Tottenham way. And I know a lot of younger fans get annoyed when older fans say that. But I've seen Tottenham play beautiful football. I want to get back to that. And I've seen Tottenham play beautiful football recently under Poch, under Redknapp, under Yol. So there's no reason why we can't do it again. But listen, I agree, Daniela. It's not all on the manager. The players are not good enough. But sadly, the manager's the one who gets it all falls on him at the end of the day, doesn't it? So it is what it is. Lukey's in Spotlight on Spurs says, big up, mate. Big up to you, Luke. I hope you are well, my friend. And Fumna says, I'd be willing to take Queen Camilla over Frank at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I'd go that far. But yeah, we will see. The big Marvinsky said Roy Keane is far too toxic for modern football, quite possibly. I think that's why I'd like to see it. I think I'm at that point where I just want the whole thing to explode before we can just settle down and rebuild. And Roy Keane might just do that. He might just finish off Enoch. He might make Enoch sell. You never know. You never know. I'm going to read a couple more messages, guys, and then I'm going to drop off because I have got to go and get a coffee as well. Kem says the manager and a fair few players need to change, need to install some proper quality and ambition into this club. Starting front three yesterday was so poor. All effort, but no quality at all. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. And actually, I think at some point, there wasn't even a lot of effort. There was a couple of times that Odebear wasn't even chasing the ball down. You know, it's like, and it wasn't until the fans, you saw it a couple of times, the ball played down the line. And Odebear was like, oh, I'm not going to make that. And then you hear the fans get up and suddenly you see Odebear's like, oh, shit, I better run. And I just think we need that effort from the start. We really do. The Sussex Spur says, okay, mate, thank you. Love the show. Just subscribe. Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. And we will definitely be doing some fan shows because we absolutely need to. Absolutely need to. Paul Humphrey says, I've got a good idea. Play Radio and Danzo at the back and play Kuti and Van der Ven up top. They're our best players and get the most of our goals. It says it all, doesn't it? When our centre backs are our players scoring all our goals, it says what problems we have. Paige says, morning, peeps. Good morning to you, Paige. I hope you're well. My guy Roy Keane don't work in this day and age. Players too soft. He would certainly, yeah, he would be sticking a rocket up them, that's for sure. Bob says, more than Nige got the score wrong. He has to go now. He absolutely does. He absolutely does. Machina Joe said, West Ham quality side losing the last minute by solitary goal in a fiercely contested top of the table London clash. There's nothing to be scoffed at. Frank and his chewing gum and iPad rubbish. Woke manager. Oh, you know what? That gum chewing drives me insane. Absolutely insane. It really does. FCNAC says, agree with that fella. I would have thought that work rate of Polinia and Connor would be too much for West Ham. Yeah. But for whatever reason, it's just not working. I'm going down the chat and reading a few people that I haven't seen here before. Mate, the player's body language doesn't look good. And you're bringing Biss instead of Polinia, clueless manager. Well, Polinia was injured, mate. That's why Biss had to come on. But I agree with you for the rest of it. The body language from the players doesn't look good at all. Kate says Spurs is on a relegation form. Frank out. Don't think the players are playing for him. Look, Chelsea, Man United sack their managers and 5th and 6th in the table. Yeah, exactly. Board need to grow some boards and sack him. Exactly. United and Chelsea both 5th and 6th in the table. They sack their managers. Tottenham, how low do we have to go before we actually realise this isn't working? How low do we have to go? Guys, it is what it is. Hotspur Flicks is in. Big up to you. And what the F was that we all had to watch yesterday? Frank out, the board had to set up, and all they do. They absolutely do. And Dino says, more than Nige, with all the doubt, the worst manager, without a doubt, the worst manager in the club's history, gets him gone today. Is it, you know what? And it is really sad because he seemed like such a nice guy and such a good manager. It just, for whatever reason, hasn't worked. Like I say, two pieces of a puzzle that just doesn't go together for me. From this end, Ange deserved the 3rd season. We traded Ange Ball for F Wank Ball. You know what? I'm still going to stand on that hill and say that I wanted Ange out. You know, he wasn't for me, and I was glad when he went. Respect him for winning the trophy, but glad when he went. But there is no doubt, Frank isn't the man either. And like I say, I was one of these. Just back the manager. Let's back him. I want to get behind the manager, but you can back the wrong manager. And I think Spurs have backed the wrong manager with Thomas Frank. Guys, I am going to leave it there because I have to go and get a coffee. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who just come in and put up with me ranting today and joined in the conversation. So much more coming from Pure Coys. Guys, smash a like, hit a subscribe on the way out. And as always, come on, Tottenham, board, do something. And as always, stay positive if you can, stay poised, and stay Pure Coys.